Okay, so we're going to do some practice. I found this, draw this pose in your style from Tom Bancroft. He is a Disney animator, or he retired. Amazing artist. Right here is his Instagram page. And so what we're going to do before we get to the whole pose, we're going to practice the bits of the body, the pieces. Like, for example, right now, we are going to practice her hands. She is holding a bow and arrow, and hands are probably the hardest to draw, according to a majority of the artists. There's some artists out there who hands come very easy to them, and good for them. Kudos to them. I recommend using poses and references, even your own hand, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Right now, though, we're going to practice this particular pose because at the end, we are going to draw the whole body. That'll be a different video. Right now, this is strictly hands only. So again, you want to draw your circles for where the palm is, the thumb, the fingers, where they all connect, and draw very lightly with this. Okay, so let me finish that up, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a close-up of her fingers. And this is actually a really difficult pose because that is the thumb and her pointer finger, which that angle is quite difficult. So you might want to practice this several times before getting to the final full pose. And don't forget that a main part of the hand is the wrist. The wrist, it has a particular bend. You'll see the bone as you bend it. Everything, the fingers, everything, they all have bones. So make sure that you practice those bends of those bones and the creases of the skin. This is not a very good one. My finger's not very good. So, yeah, we're just, again, this is just practice. We're not, this is not going to be the final image. You can see right here, I'm trying to draw that angle of the wrist. Now that we got that practice in, we're going to practice the other hand. And again, we're going to just draw a light outline of where the wrist is going to be, the basic shape of the palm of the hand, and then I'm going to draw where the thumb is going across her bow before I start on her fingers. Circles for where her fingers are going to be. Those are, makeshift knuckles. And then I'm going to just draw her long pointed fingers as they arch down. If you need to get reference pictures for this, you can look at your hands. You can look at a friend's hands, your family members. Just study the delicate features of the finger bones to get that down. And again, with the wrist, it is going to stick out a little bit where the bone bends. And make sure you draw everything light first and then add the dark. Otherwise, you end up not being able, if you make a mistake, it's hard to erase the darker lines. I'm going to go ahead and just draw where the bow is going to be at eventually with this, just so you doesn't look she has a missing finger. And so once you're done practicing this hand, I want to just touch on fingernails. As you see, I'm trying to draw fingernails. Fingernails never turn out for me, so I don't draw them. It is a practice that you have to work on, and I will not do that right now. So let's just work on the basics. Thank you. So as you can see, we're going to draw different poses. Use your own hands as reference. You can see my pad right here, my tablet. I have some other references pulled up. I'm right-handed, so you'll never see me use my left hand or my right hand to do references, but this is a great practice, especially if you want it to do a specific pose, like holding a glass or holding a toy or something. And you can see where I drew my circles of where I wanted things to be. Draw very lightly. You can it doesn't even have to be perfect with the light outline. You can just draw little sausages and then go from there. Again, with the wrist, see how it bends out? And you want to capture that in your drawing. And I recommend practicing several different hand poses to see how the wrist bends, how the fingers bend. And if you need to get help, I'm sure that you have someone in your household that will help you do that. So after I've finished doing that one, I'm going to do a different pose. Again, draw your basics for your circles where you want your wrist to be. The palm is kind of like an awkward looking square to start off. And then you're going to draw the circle. That's where the thumb is. It's like an oval shape. And then draw little sausages, and you can do the finer details after you get the basis done. Okay, so I'm going to draw the knuckle circles again from where I want the fingers to be. Again, everything just keep it light, and then you can add your details to where the wrist is at and everything, and then draw your sausages, and then you just go from there. My pinky's a little bit too high, but that's okay. Again, this is just practice. We just want to get used to the shape of the hand and the fingers. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, the hand and the fingers, everything, the hands are just very difficult. Something so simple just seems so difficult, and not a really long ring finger. But this is just a sketch. I'm going to fine tune it here in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to start adding some of the finer details to this. I'm drawing a line you can see the bends in the fingers, and that's what I'm trying to get at, is where those bends are. And this is where you can find a lot of your mistakes when you're drawing, is everything is just so coherent with lines, measurements, things like that. Don't worry about shading or coloring. That is going to be the least of our problems. Right now I'm drawing the lines of the hand. Now I'm done with the sketch. As you can see all the circles. I haven't erased anything. Again, I recommend highly either using your own hands as references, using online images that you can look up hand poses, reference pictures, or use someone in your household for if you want a particular hand, like a pose. Running out of time, but thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.